Why is Lina Jakiro Batrider able to purge Morphling?
He's still a solid, right? So maybe a part of him is also ice. And you still have to be able to melt it.
I was going to say, maybe they don't burn him, it's just so hot that he evaporates. It's just that intense level of heat and temperature that they apply to him, he just disappears, you know, he goes up in a puff of smoke.
I feel like that actually does, like, lore-wise make sense. Maybe they're not burning him, but they are like turning part of his water into steam, and surely that's gotta hurt, right? There's just less water.
The idea of D&D, there's like a spell I think called like Phantasmal Force or something, where you create an illusion in somebody's head and then they take damage based upon what the illusion is doing to them inside their own head. Because, you know, you shouldn't be able to walk through a black hole if it's on your team, but the black hole is like actually against only the enemies. That's a terrible answer, but it's not real. Nothing is real, that's the answer.
He's a water creature, and so if they evaporate too much of his body off, then he has less mass and thus is damaged and hurt.
I suppose because maybe Morphling is not made of actual water, you know? There's a lot of chemical substances that look like water, but don't necessarily have the same chemical composition. They're not H2O. And we have like, his spells, what are they called? We have Waveform, there's Replicate, Adaptive Strike, Attribute Shift. None of them mention water. It could be that Morphling is made of some kind of flammable liquid rather than H2O.
Very good point, but most people don't actually know the true lore of Morphling. You see, Morphling is not water, Morphling is a comet. Technically, a comet is ice. So the question should be, shouldn't they be more effective against Morphling, who's an alien water source, but he was a comet. They tried something like that. I remember when Cinder Brew, if you got touched on by fire, it did more damage. That was really stupid. Pokemon is not Dota, so no thanks.
His model's so shit, there's not actually enough water particles in the model to protect him from the fire.
Why does Anti-Mage ultimate does magical damage if he hates magic?
Most of the Dota heroes that I can think of have a vice that I think their character is built around. Omni-Knight and Chen have this like religious zealotry that's going on, right? They're not good people. They're religious zealots who are fucking insane, right? So Anti-Mage is a hypocrite, right? Like that for me makes sense. And there's no main character sort of deal. Like none of them are the good guy. And I think that is a big part of like Dota's story, if it has any story at all.
You know, they always say you either die a hero or you live long enough to become what you hate. So maybe that's what's happened with his ult. Because he's a hypocrite.
He goes on about all this
I hate magic.
this, magic that.
Nobody
and then
can use magic
He just
but
uses
me.
it himself, so
Yeah.
I don't know, he's just talking a load of rubbish.
So their mana is gone because they either spent mana or he mana burned it, and thus he is allowing the previously used spells that they used to damage themselves. So the damage is not coming from him necessarily, it's from their evil use of magic and mana.
Just because you hate magic doesn't mean that you can't use magic. Besides, he says that his blinking and skills are from force of will. Isn't force of will magic? Maybe, maybe not, but I mean, you could be anti many things. I'm anti-children, and I was one. So explain that.
Because to vanquish that which you hate, you must become it for a moment.
It was said that you would destroy them. Magic. Not join them.
Shitty wizard.
What damage type do you want it to be instead? Do you want it to be like physical, or just beating the shit out of these magicians, or what? Oh, no, you just want to make it pure. There we go. Imagine just ulting something like OD. You'd have to nerf it a little bit, but yeah, pure would be good.
Why does he ult do magical damage? You're giving him ideas, they're gonna turn it pure. This is a problem. That's exactly. We gotta cut this question. Delete the video, it's gone, no more.